right fielder. Gus Baggert, the left fielder. The second baseman is Camden Rush. Sam Anderson hits 8th at first base. And Alejandro Puig is the shortstop, batting 9th. And William Schmidt. So much potential. Let's see if he can lock in again today.
Well, you know, he had that great outing a week ago, and hopefully he can have it back-to-back. That way that gets him the confidence and gets him on a roll. You see his numbers for the season, 2-0 earned run average, just a tick over 2 in 9 innings. He's punched out 16 batters and only walked 4. He's going to have a mid-90s fastball, over-the-top curve and change. I mean, a very kind of 12-6 curveball. This year, Lynn, he's worked in a slider. You'll see that from time to time.
By the way, just by comparison, in Hanover, New Hampshire, right now, it's 50 degrees colder, 24 degrees in Hanover. Feels like 15, by the way. The low today was 4 degrees.
This is Chamber of Commerce weather for the Baton Rouge area. Mid-70s, the humidity is only in the low 40s. So this is just absolutely perfect baseball weather. Not a lot of sweat going to be happening for William Schmidt today.
And none expected in Hanover unless you're shoveling snow and ice.
That's right.
The high today, 28.
Oof. That's why those teams that's why Northeastern and Dartmouth are down here on a southern tour. They usually will spend a few weeks in the south to start their season.
This is only the 6th game of the year for Dartmouth. It comes in with a 2-3 record. LSU has played 11 games and is 10-1. Banez hitting .333 in the early going. He's a Floridian. Everybody gets prepared, and we are set to go with the first pitch. LSU and Dartmouth. Dartmouth held the lead against LSU for half the game the first time these teams played a couple of days ago. But LSU came back to win it. And a strike from Schmidt.
And a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to get the party started for William Schmidt.
Banez is 5 for 16, 1 extra base hit. That was a double. Curiel charging this one from center field. He gets there and he's got it. Out number 1. LSU defensively, Tanner Reeves in left, Derek Curiel the center fielder, Jake Brown in right. Trent Carraway at third base, Stephen Milam next to him. Seth Dardar is the second baseman, Zach York playing first base, and Kate Arambidi is the receiver for the Tigers. Rodriguez, the third baseman at the plate, hitting .200, 4 for 20. He's driven in 3, no extra base hits. Schmidt cranks it, 95.5.
Now today it's all about William Schmidt. You know, this is a young man that a lot of expectation, turned down millions out of high school a year ago. Had a little up and down freshman year, which most freshmen do. And now he has gotten bigger, stronger, and that was a wipeout breaking ball right there. 0-2, nowhere near the zone, but the hitter chased it. And this year, Lynn, it's about making that move, you know, into that starting rotation, and a lot of expectation on him. He's literally gained over 20 pounds from about 20 pounds from a year ago. All good quality muscle. And much like we've seen out of Jake Brown and others, made that move from freshman year. Curiel this year made that move from freshman year to sophomore year, and they transformed their body.
So did I over the winter.
Yeah, you went the other way though. You were packing on in case of a blizzard, and you didn't have to leave the house for a while.
Well, I saw the long-term forecast for all the snow and ice. Here's DiCorrado. Stephen DiCorrado. That didn't miss by much. But it's 3-0.
That was a 97-mile-an-hour heater by William Schmidt. Out of Catholic High School in the Baton Rouge, right in the middle of Baton Rouge. High school coach, former LSU Tiger and Port Allen High graduate Brad Bass, who they've won back-to-back state championships over there at Catholic High the last couple seasons.
The 3-1 pitch fouled off of the hitter. So Schmidt, after falling behind 3-0, has come back with a couple of strikes. I had a chance to talk to him briefly before a game in Jacksonville, Florida, in that Live Like Lou Jacks Classic. Very polite, very studious, very earnest about his craft. Dardar makes the play from the base path. A 3-up, 3-down inning. A fly ball to center, a strikeout, and a ground out. LSU coming to the plate for the first time when we come back. Up like this, Mason Braun is the DH, and batting first, Derek Curiel is in center field. Jake Brown, who has 20 base hits and is batting over 400, hits third. Zach York is next. He's at first base. Shortstop Stephen Milam is followed by catcher Kate Arambidi. Seth Dardar is batting sixth. Trent Caraway, or seventh, I should say. Trent Caraway is hitting eighth at third base, and Tanner Reeves is in left field, batting ninth. Eddie Albert is on the mound for Dartmouth. He's a right-hander who throws from the stretch without base runners. Oh, and one record.
Let me tell you something, Lynn. LSU is glad to see Eddie Albert, because if you watch the last three games, LSU has faced a lot of arms that are below the speed of what they're going to face in the SEC. A lot of 70s and 80s, and Tigers have been off balance and haven't done well. But Albert's one of those guys that the scouting report on him is he's going to have a low 90s fastball. He's a guy that's going to, have the mid-upper 80s slider, a big sweeper. This is his stuff is more in line with what LSU is going to see in SEC play from a velocity standpoint. So I expect they'll be a little more comfortable today at the plate.
Could very well be. Jay Johnson was quoted as saying that he was going to sleep in the batting cage until things straightened out. Braun, Curiel, and Brown. And evidently we've got some kind of mechanical problem on the pitch indicator. That's not something you had to worry about when you played, right?
No. We had, our pitch comm was Coach Bertman yelling at you from the dugout. One time he made a trip to the mound on one of my first starts ever in college and said I was getting the signals wrong because my contacts were fogged up or whatever on that game. And, of course, the lights were a little different than they were back then at the old box. And Coach said, hey, Rance, if you don't start breathing out of your eyelids and getting the signal straight, you're never going to pitch here at LSU again. You got me, right? You got me? Yes, sir. That was our pitch comm.
It worked, though, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I got in line in a hurry.
Braun is having a fine year. He's a new Tiger out of South Bend, Indiana, hitting .333 right now with 1 homer, 6 driven in, and 5 bases on balls. I believe this may be his first time in the leadoff position. I'm not certain about that, but I think it is. Albert's ERA is pretty hefty after one start. He went 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 runs on the same number of hits. He walked a couple, struck out 3. And he absorbed the loss. 2-1 pitch, curls in for a strike. The wind is blowing from right to left toward the left field scoreboard. What a gorgeous, absolutely ideal day for baseball.
Opportunity for the young freshman to lead off. Mason Braun. Jay Johnson just raves about Mason Braun in the offseason. He had a great January and February in the inter squads and practices leading up to the start of the season. They said he made a tremendous move to earn more playing time.
That time he waves through the 3-2 pitch and does not make contact.
Yeah, it was just nothing fancy there. That was an 89-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Here, go get it.
That's a very hittable pitch, but Braun could not connect.
Looked like he might have been expecting off speed and got the fastball.
So here's Curiel. His average is .318, slowly rising toward his astronomical mark of a year ago. First pitch swinging and yanks it foul. No home runs yet for Curiel. They thought he might approach 8 or 10 this year. We've yet to see one. 3 doubles on the campaign. But like last year, he has contributed in some very meaningful positions. Curiel takes a strike. Kevin Elsey is calling balls and strikes. Ray Gregson at first base. Clayton Ham is the second base umpire, and Jeff Head is working third base.
Very veteran umpire crew. A lot of names you've heard for years.
On the backhanded side, Rush makes the play over to Anderson. So Curiel rolls to the right side for the second out. And here's Jake Brown. He continues to punish the baseball.
Al, he's one of the few Tigers that's stayed hot. But LSU, 5 hits yesterday, 5 hits on Friday. That's very surprising. You see Jake Brown, 11 games in, batting average over 400 with 4 homers.
The infield has the extreme shift to the right side for Brown. There you see it. This is becoming so commonplace in college baseball, and of course outlawed in Major League Baseball. The pitch, yanked foul.
Yeah, I wonder when the time is going to come that they're going to outlaw it in college baseball. Usually there's a trickle-down effect over time. As long as it's not a technology issue, a lot of times the rules that are adopted in the big leagues make their way down to the minor leagues, make their way to college eventually, and that's one rule I would love to see change. Not to mention a scorekeeper's nightmare, right?
It is.
When a guy fields a ground ball, base hits, like look where the shortstop is. The shortstop is is playing where a normal second baseman would be playing, right in front of the umpire, right there. So if the ball's hit to him, that should be a 4-3 in the book. Instead, it's going to be a 6-3 because the shortstop fielded it, although at the second base position.
It makes us pay attention. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We are scoreless in the bottom of the first. And a big crowd on hand. Ronnie, I don't say this in any denigrating way, but I'll bet today in Alex Box Stadium there are more fans than Dartmouth draws the entire year.
No, I mean they'll agree with you on that. Yeah, no question. I would say you're pushing probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 7,000 or 8,000 actual, and that's a bomb to right field.
Way up and way out. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Home run number 5 for Jake Brown. It comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning, and the Tigers get on the scoreboard before the ink on the scorecard dries.
I think LSU probably needed that one. It was a 3-2 breaking ball, and Jake Brown from Sulphur High School in the Lake Charles area, he's a breaking ball that just hangs right in the middle of the plate, and he got it all. As soon as he hit it, he knew he was gone. A towering homer out to right field. That was kind of the classic big, tall, carried about halfway up the bleachers.
York. He's out at first base on a fine play by Puig, the shortstop, who was playing him well and had to go to the backhand side, but still got it done. But Jake Brown rips one into the right field bleachers. 1-0 Tigers. There's Blake McFadden. He's in his first year as the head coach of Dartmouth. He was an assistant coach from 2009 until last year. And they actually list him as the interim head coach. His team has had to deal with a lot of nasty weather in the run-up to the season. Again, this is only the 6th game of the year. Dartmouth comes in with a record of 2-3. Jay Johnson has picked up his 200th win as LSU head coach.
Well, you're talking about McFadden. Back in July, longtime head coach Bob Whalen announced his retirement, so they elevated Blake McFadden, Dartmouth's coach, to interim. But that's surprising that the interim tag was put on in July and that they didn't just open up a search. But I'm sure he's getting an opportunity to sort of audition for the full to be permanent.
Dardar makes the play on the ground ball by DeMastri. That's his second assist in the game. As A.J. DeMastri rolls to the right side. And here comes Axel Reese, the right fielder. All right, an early trivia quiz for you, Mr. Rance. Dartmouth has been to one College World Series. When was it?
Oh, I'm going to have to go probably in the Wayback Machine. Dartmouth hasn't been to the World Series in the modern era, so I'm going to say something like in the 40s, 48.
1970.
Really? I mean, I count the Wayback Machine 80 on, but I mean, I thought it would have been even further than that. So 1970. You know, what the NCAA used to do prior to really, I'd say the mid-90s, they really made an emphasis to spread the regionals around the country, or at least have representation. So there was always a regional in the northeastern kind of part of the country. If they could justify it at all, they would put a regional over there. So that's how teams like Maine ended up going to the World Series 3 times in the 80s, and some other teams. There was always a regional, and oftentimes that regional was a little bit easier because they would maybe ship one team from the south up, but
Curiel backpedaling quickly, still running.
Oh, nice catch.
And he gets to it. as he stumbles and falls on the gravel out there on the warning track. That ball kept carrying, and Curiel was able to stay with it.
Yeah, he looked a little unsure off the bat, and you see William Schmidt give Curiel the little heart sign. They're good buddies. You know, William Schmidt, by the way, and Curiel, pickleball teammates. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the wind is blowing out to kind of left center. I think it carried a little more than he thought. And then William Smith getting his good buddies some love. You know, Curiel is a giant pickleball player. Like, loves it, plays it as much as he can in the offseason. And he'll grab William Schmidt, I think they're roommates, and William Schmidt sometimes will play with them on a team for charity events and stuff like that. I talked to William Schmidt about it. He said, you know, Curiel just grabs me when he doesn't have a partner, but he loves it.
Well, the 12:53 is rolling on by beyond the fence here. The train, we might see 2 or 3 of them on a good day, but the 12:53 is right on time. That's a high breaking pitch. It's called strike 3. A 1-2-3 frame with the help of Curiel's nice catch on the warning track in deep center field. 1-0 Tigers on the Jake Brown homer. First came on a 2-out towering deep home run by Jake Brown, his 5th of the year. And now it'll be Milam, Arambidi, and Darter. Dardar will hit third here in this inning. Milam will lead it off, and Arambidi is sandwiched between those two. Milam has been all over the LSU lineup. I don't think he's been plugged in to all of the 9 positions, but most of them. Batting .275 right now. He would like to move that number up.
Well, of course, Milam, you know, started off his career at LSU playing second base and was an excellent second baseman, and then made the move last year to shortstop. And there was some questions, you know, did he have enough arm? Did he have enough range? And he answered that in a big way with a fantastic season. And now is considered one of the top shortstops in college baseball defensively.
Well, he makes plays on the backhand side that truly are special and uncommon. 7 driven in. He's walked 10 times. 3 extra base hits, make it 4 extra base hits, a triple and 3 doubles. The shift is on for Milam as well. Well, here's a list of the top 5 shortstops. Stephen Milam checks in at the number 5 position. These are the D1 baseball preseason rankings. Milam has been pretty consistent from both sides of the plate. Against right-handed pitchers, he's batting .269. Against lefties, .286. The junior out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, watches that one skip by his feet. The count is full. Milam leading it off in the bottom of the second. You'll see at least another pitch.
Now, Stephen Milam, one of those guys, Lynn, that really does a nice job, from both sides of the plate. A lot of times when guys are switch hitters, there's this obvious, you want to turn them around to the other side, but not the case with Stephen Milam, and shows a good eye right there drawing a walk.
That's the 11th base on balls that he has earned so far this year. Earlier this week, these two teams met, and Dartmouth held a slim lead through about half the game before the Tigers came alive offensively and won it 5-3. Kate Arambidi waits for the offering from Eddie Albert. A breaking pitch misses. And again, 2-0.
Yeah, kind of the command is being a problem right now for Eddie Albert.
Arambidi with a big swing on 2-0.
And he might have helped them a little bit right there too, Lynn, on that pitch, that borderline up in the zone ball strike. That got him, huh? Oh, went behind him. I thought it got him on the leg, but that pitch actually went behind Arambidi.
So the wild pitch shoves Milam into scoring position.
Well, if the leadoff walk didn't tell you that Eddie Albert maybe is struggling with his command, that breaking ball that went behind the batter sure does.
Now the count goes to 3-2.
Arambidi on Tuesday against McNeese got nicked up in that ball game, a foul ball that caused them to leave the game, and he didn't get to bat a couple of times late in the game when his spot would have come up in the lineup.
There's a call, third strike. Arambidi was frozen and walks away slowly.
This is a really good pitch down in the zone. Fastball 90 miles an hour right there. Boom, at the bottom of the zone. Not quite sure what Kate Arambidi was looking for. It almost felt like he was maybe looking for off speed and got frozen by the fastball because that was center cut at the knees. Albert came all the way back there. Looked like he was going to be in trouble, down 2-0 in the count. Then he was down 3-1 after a breaking ball behind the hitter and came all the way back to strike out Arambidi. That was big for him.
This brings on Dardar, hitting .286 with a couple of homers and 10 driven in. He's been a frequent base runner. He's walked 14 times.
Well, Seth Dardar leads the team in on-base percentage. .523 is his on-base percentage. He's the only Tiger. He's the second Tiger, excuse me. The only other one is Zach York. Zach York has a .510 on-base percentage. So those are only two Tigers regulars that are over 50% of the time they reach base.
And those numbers have been built primarily on the ability to earn walks. 4 doubles for Dardar. He's a little late on that swing.
And another Tiger that helped out Albert on the 2-0. Remember, Arambidi chased a 2-0 pitch up in the zone. That was probably a ball. That time, Dardar chased one down in the zone. That was ball 3.
Dardar is hitting .400 in situations like these, runners in scoring position, and that plunks him. So a walk, a wild pitch, and a hit batter. Runners at second and first with one out.
Breaking ball got him right on the back of the foot. LSU will take it.
Here's Caraway. The Californian hitting .333 at or near the bottom of the order in every game. He's been really good before the turn to the top of the order. Curiel normally there. Braun is batting first today. But Trent Caraway certainly holding his own and then some offensively. That's tight. 2-0. It's bobbled for the moment, picked up, and still time enough for Rodriguez to get it over to Anderson. The runners do advance. Caraway rolls out to his counterpart at third.
That was actually a good job not to panic. You know, a lot of times infielders, runners are moving. You bobble this ball right there, you panic, the guy flashes in front of you, but Rodriguez did a nice job staying with it and fired a strike across the diamond.
Here's Tanner Reeves. He's 6 points under 300 right now, batting a solid .294. 3 driven in. He's only had 17 at bats. He's come through with 5 hits. This ball is tagged pretty well, but playable in center field. And Banez backs up quickly to take the line drive out. So the Tigers threaten but do not score. They carry a 1-0 lead into the third inning. Well, top 25 poll. LSU is number 2. Look at the parity here and the strength of the SEC individually and collectively. Texas and Mississippi State, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 belong to the SEC. So does 10, 11, 13, 20, and 22. Texas A&M just outside Texas A&M is at 23. Ole Miss at 25. So
basically half of the top 25 is SEC teams. That's all you need to know.
Things sorting out as normal in this league.
Yep.
And the thing that makes SEC baseball so compelling, Ronnie, is with very few exceptions, every SEC series is the equivalent of a super regional. And it's a special treat for fans who get to see that kind of competition after not certainly as much in the run-up to the season in the SEC play.
Hey, look, when LSU goes to Vanderbilt to take on the Commodores opening SEC weekend, you know, Tim Corbin, a two-time College World Series champion coach, against Jay Johnson, a two-time College World Series champion coach. I mean, that's as good as it gets. I mean, you know, and Vandy's had some improvements to their facilities, and they'll have a packed crowd for them for 3 days in a row. It's special in the SEC every weekend, like you said.
Aaron Beatty runs out to gobble that one up and get it over to first base.
And playing for the Big Green, first baseman, number 9, Sam Anderson.
Camden Rush is retired on a 2-3 putout. And this brings on first baseman Sam Anderson batting for the first time. Schmidt has retired the first 7 batters.
Little slider that time by William Schmidt. And then comes back with an 87 slider, 96 fastball.
That's unfair.
And then he'll throw a low 80s curveball on you.
It took 3 pitches. Sam Anderson walks away with the bat on his shoulder.
Hey, that right there, that's the new kind of a new pitch that William Schmidt has really incorporated this year, because before he was fastball, curveball, change. There you go, fastball right there. Then he throws a slider at the end. So, he used to be fastball, curve, and occasional changeup. This year he's worked in that slider. You see it again. It's faster than the breaking ball, less hump in it. It's a little less break, and it fools the hitter because out of the hand it looks on the same plane as a fastball.
Alejandro Puig batting for the first time in the 9-hole.
You saw right there, that was the curveball. So it's about an 8-9 mile an hour difference and has a bigger kind of a break to it.
It's a fishhook curveball. This ball is tattooed high and deep, fair or foul. Foul ball.
Yeah, wind sort of blowing. Didn't help that ball. I mean, he was hit kind of down the line, but the wind is blowing out towards the foul line. You see the flags not really blowing to left center, more across at the moment, and it pushed that ball even further foul.
That's a mitt popper, but upstairs.
That ball was that foul ball was drilled down by the Kona ice stand. I haven't had a Kona ice in a while, Lynn. I got to get me one of those. Big fan of the snow cones.
Puig chases one well outside the strike zone. Another 3-up, 3-down inning, and 4 strikeouts on the day for William Schmidt.
Now, William Schmidt, the nice breaking ball. Then he went with a hard slider. Total command here in Baton Rouge.
Hit so far, and it was a long one off the bat of Jake Brown. He'll be the 3rd hitter in this inning. Braun, Curiel, and Brown as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Tigers. That home run by Brown came with 2 outs in the 1st.
Top of the order presented by Turbobox. Leading off the Tiger third inning. Designated hitters, Mason Braun.
Braun struck out to open the Tiger flow in the bottom of the first. Coryell followed with a ground ball to the right side. The shift is on again. And the pitch curls over the outside edge. It's always interesting to me to see the extreme shift on the infield and the outfield playing straight away, or even sometimes the opposite direction. A liner to center field, and it is caught. A diving catch by Banez. Well done by Nico Banez. He got a terrific first step to get that very hard hit liner.
I mean, a big time grab, Lynn, because I mean, this ball gets by him. It's a, Braun's at least got two, maybe more. Good break. Well played. I mean, he read it right off the bat. And Braun, that's one of those that the baseball gods will need to reward him some other way, because that should have been a base hit.
Coryell bounced out to Rush last time on the right side. He takes a curveball strike. Hitting .311 right now. 11 driven in. One ball, two strikes on the sophomore draft eligible center fielder, Derek Coryell. Coryell cannot pull the trigger, and he goes down looking. That's the third strikeout for Albert, and he's had the ability to freeze the Tigers at the plate with fastballs that are average. But that was right there for a strike.
Yeah, that was a 90-mile-an-hour pitch. It was down in the zone. He got Dardar in that same pitch. Got Aaron Beatty, excuse me, on that same pitch. Kind of froze him. A fastball down in the zone.
Jake Brown waits. Swings on the first pitch. That's a foul ball.
I don't know that they'll throw Jake Brown a breaking ball, because his last time up, they threw him that breaking ball, and there it went halfway up the bleachers in right field. That was a 3-2 hammer that was center cut, and Jake Brown was not fooled at all. No doubter right off the bat.
This one has popped up. Rush, the second baseman, is calling for it, and he squeezes it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Threw him a little sweeper that time. That one a little less break, and Jake Brown just missed it.
LSU 1, Dartmouth nothing. The fourth inning is straight ahead. You know, Ronnie, one of the famous alumni for Dartmouth is a guy you probably watched as a mere tyke on television. That's my hint to you. He was on television every day, I believe. You think Mr. Rogers would come to mind?
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know that.
Fred Rogers was a graduate.
Coach, that guy's a hero of mine.
Oh, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he a Marine? He had a very distinguished military career.
There was a great documentary about him that in the last couple of years. What a great guy he was.
All I can say is Mr. Rogers never met the people in my neighborhood. Jake Tapper, the CNN lead anchor. Nelson Rockefeller was a graduate of this team. Well, Schmidt continues to dish, doesn't he?
He's showing all of his arsenal today. Watch right here. Again, this is the emergence of that slide piece. You know, a year ago it was fastball and then that big, you know, kind of over the top upper 70s, maybe an 80 breaking ball. But now he's got that in-between pitch, and he's feeling it today because they're throwing it a bunch.
Tyler Rodriguez at the plate. Well, despite all kind of other accolades you could speak about Schmidt right now, the thing that's most impressive to me is the fact that he has not walked a batter. The 0-2 pitch from William Schmidt. We'll check his pitch count here. It's at 42, so he's been very economical. Schmidt over the top, maybe overthrew that one a little bit. He knew it. He goes back and shrugs just to loosen up and come back for the 2-2 delivery.
He touched 97 once, but most of the fastballs have been 95, 96 like the one we just saw.
That's a foul ball past third.
Little bobble there by the back girl down the left field line, Lynn. It's not a good sign.
Mindy Kaling, an actress and writer for The Office, is a graduate of Dartmouth. Rodriguez rolls out 4-3.
Have you ever watched an episode of The Office?
By mistake once.
It's one of the best shows in the last 20 years.
I've heard it's really funny.
Yeah, one of the best shows in the last 20. Originated in England, and then they did an adaptation in America.
Well, Daniel Webster, the great orator and politician, was a graduate. That's a liner right at York. The big fellow takes it with that big glove. 3 up, 3 down again as DiCorrado lines it into the glove of York at first base. William Schmidt continues to be extremely effective. 1-0 LSU. According to D1 Baseball, this is the portal class which emerged at LSU, the 5th, 19th, 22nd, and 29th player nationally. Coming to LSU, you see Simpson and York and Moore and Caraway. It's a different day in college baseball and college sports. There's been only one hit in this game. And that was the no doubt home run by Jake Brown with 2 outs in the first.
And D1 baseball rankings, as you mentioned, that portal class, but also the freshman class. I mean, they had the #1 recruiting class in the country when you combine both. And that's why there's a lot of expectation with this program each and every year. And Jay Johnson doesn't shy away from that expectation either. That's the thing I love about him being a former player here, is we all want to see, the past players want to see LSU and the success be even greater than it was for us. And he's a guy that embraces that history and embraces that challenge.
Here's the 19th ranked player in the portal, Zach York. Ball 1.
I think Zach York by the end of the season may win the title. He's going to push a couple others, but he may have the title of favorite Tiger.
Could be.
Like the fans that have just absolutely gotten behind him and are enjoying his play this year.
Sam Anderson staggers around in foul ground but makes the play. York pops up to the first baseman in foul territory, bringing on Stephen Milam. Here's something you don't hear about every day. Dartmouth was actually founded well before this nation became a nation. 1769 was the founding date of Dartmouth, 7 years prior to the Constitution, and
he doesn't have it.
That's dropped in center field. Milam winds up at second.
Now that'll go.
Banez had trouble with the sun, no doubt.
Yeah, that'll go as an error because it hit him right in the glove, huh? They're going to give him a 2-base double? My goodness. I mean, doesn't the ball hit him right in the glove? Right here, ball's hit high. It literally hits in the middle of the glove, and somehow the scorekeeper gave him a double. That is generous. But regardless, the wind is kind of blowing in. The sun is right high sky, and sometimes on an unfamiliar field that happens. See if LSU can take advantage of it.
Arambidi is first pitch swinging.
LSU had Milam at second base with no outs in the second inning and didn't get any runs out of it.
They've got him at second base with 1 out right now. Dardar is on deck. One ball, 1 strike.
Arambidi has really stepped up from his freshman year to his sophomore year. I mean, this guy is one of the leaders of the team in the clubhouse and well liked, and obviously the starting catcher and will be the whole season. And not only has he physically and his play improved, but just his maturity and his leadership qualities are through the roof.
He's unabashed in his praise for the LSU program and why he came here. Out of Tomball, Texas, but he goes down on strikes for the second time.
That's the second strikeout for Arambidi. The first time he froze on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. This time chased one that probably a couple inches off the outside edge.
So Eddie Albert pretty much matching what Schmidt has done so far.
Look at that, 4 strikeouts today through 3 2/3 innings, and kind of danced around some trouble.
Just 1 walk. He's allowed only 2 hits. Let's see if anybody can take charge on this one. The left fielder overruns it and cannot make the play. Beggert could not handle it in left field, and the Tigers will take advantage of it and lead 2-0.
Wow. As an LSU guy, good for the Tigers, but as a former pitcher, man, I feel for Eddie Albert. I mean, he's had his center fielder drop a ball that should have been an out that went for a double, and then that's going to go for a double as well. Well, they're going to call that an error. Okay. I don't know why one's a double that hits him in the glove and then the one that doesn't hit him in the glove is an error, but whatever. But that is just unfortunate for Eddie Albert. Good for LSU, but my goodness.
An unearned run makes it 2-0. Caraway to the plate from Dana Point, California. Ball 1.
I really want to understand it. The ball hit to center field. He can't see it because of the sun, and the ball hits him dead square in the middle of the glove, and he drops it. Same thing, the left ball doesn't even hit the glove, and one's a hit, one's an error. Interesting. Can you help me there, Mr. Former Umpire?
I cannot.
All right.
But there's a gentleman, a couple of booths over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in between innings and just get it. I want to get education. I'm sure I'm wrong. I just don't. Just want to just understand it better.
This may be trouble. But the second baseman backpedals, and Camden Rush is able to grab that pop-up in shallow right center field. Milam scores on the two-base error, and the Tigers have a 2-0 lead. Schmidt has fanned 5. Let's take a look. He gets the Dartmouth player to chase. Gets the top of the strike zone here. Another chase. And a wicked curveball. And right now, 5 strikeouts, no walks issued by William Schmidt. So what did you find out? You're a little flushed.
By the way, that's been the theme of the weekend. That's now 33 strikeouts, 4 walks for LSU pitching through 2+ games. So
did you engage in angry talk? Okay.
I got an explanation on why the 2 balls were ruled different. One was the fly ball to center field that was lost in the sun was ruled a double because, according to the official score, any ball that's lost in the sun, regardless of glove, no glove, is automatically a hit. The ball to left field, his determination was that he did not lose it in the sun, that he ran to the spot where the ball was and the wind blew it and he lost the ball. He just misplayed it. He's according to the official score, his judgment, which is all that matters, doesn't matter what you or I think, he felt like he did not lose it in the sun. He just misplayed the ball. So therefore the error.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's A.J. DeMastri out of Woodstock, Georgia. DeMastri rolled out to Dardar last time. Schmidt will be cutting loose with his 50th pitch. In this, the 5th inning, he has been extremely efficient. Ground ball headed to right and beyond the diving effort of Seth Dardar. That is the first base runner for Dartmouth today. It comes with nobody out to start the 5th inning.
So no hits allowed for William Schmidt through 4, and then the leadoff batter gets one here in the 5th.
And here is Axel Reese.
Even with all the problems that Dartmouth has had offensively today against William Schmidt, Lynn, they've got to be playing with some confidence.
Absolutely.
Eddie Albert has really shown them something on the mound and kept them right in the ball game. Curious to see how they're going to play this with a runner at first and no outs. Why they, if they would consider maybe bunting here.
The infield is at double play depth. 2-0 for one of the few times today from Schmidt. DeMastri at first base with a single to right. This could be a pair. Milam scoops it up. Dardar turns, fires. Out at second, out at first. 6-4-3. Started by the slick fielding Stephen Milam.
That was a 2-0 fastball, kind of middle in, and just your standard regular routine ground ball to Milam at short. York with a little stretch to the left to grab it. And that is a pitcher's best friend to clear the bases.
It brings on Gus Beggert. He's out of Austin, Texas. That's right back between Schmidt's legs and on into center field. So after striking out in the second inning, Beggert hits it right back from whence it came.
Take a look here. Pitch a little bit elevated. Actually surprised. Well, Schmidt lucky that ball didn't get him in the ankle. Went between the wickets. But he did a nice job of getting on top of that elevated fastball to drive it up the middle.
So Camden Rush out of Modesto, California comes to the plate. Aaron Beatty fielded a little tapper in front of the plate and threw him out last time. Schmidt is high, 2-0.
Did they throw that ball when the base hit up the middle that Gus Beggert hit? Did they throw that ball out, Lynn? Did you see if they threw that out? I mean, that's his first college hit. You know, you would think they would maybe
I didn't notice.
Send that to the dugout for him. I don't know if Dartmouth knows to ask. That would have been a cool memento for him.
Somebody can hand him one after the game and tell him that's the one. It's not going to matter. He's not going to know. Dardar charging, pivoting and throwing. Schmidt allowed a couple of base hits, but only one base runner over the minimum. And LSU still holding on to a 2-0 lead at the bottom of the fifth inning, straight ahead.
Well, here's Eddie Albert for Dartmouth. He's been the surprise story of the day. The fastball, which is only about 89 to 91 today, has been playing. Look at all these strikeouts with just a straight three-quarter fastball. He's got four of them. Four of them in the ball game, and has really tied LSU up, with the exception of the one mistake, the 3-2 breaking ball to Jake Brown that he hung in the middle of the plate. Jake Brown made him pay for it. Other than that, he has been in control. LSU's only had 2 hits through 4 innings and 1 run. Or 2 runs, excuse me. Should only have 1 run if it hadn't been for his outfield letting him down.
And just to punctuate what you said about Eddie Albert, last inning he only threw 8 pitches and 7 were strikes.
And he got 4 outs last inning.
Well, Dartmouth must be very pleased.
Actually 5 outs, excuse me.
with Eddie Albert's performance. Ball 1 to Tanner Reeves at the bottom of the order. He lined out to center field last time. Albert has only walked 1. We've only had 1 walk in the game.
Now, Albert from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who coming into today's game had only thrown 2 2/3 innings, had made 1 start, didn't go well, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs. Opponents were hitting .333 against him. Well, Albert is having a quality start here against the Tigers.
There's a strike to level the count, make it 1-2 rather. Nobody out. Reeves leading off, a 5th-year senior from Bonham, Texas. Albert changes speeds. That was about 10 or 11 miles an hour slower than the fastball.
You can tell his poise is there. He's gaining more and more confidence with each and every pitch. He's 62 pitches so far in this game.
And there is a pretty decent fastball. It freezes Tanner Reeves. That's at least 3 Tigers who have gone down in that fashion.
I mean, it's shocking to me how LSU's obviously not seeing this fastball very well. Now, I agree with Reeves. I feel like that was definitely off the plate. You could see the catcher catch it and bring it back, but they have just not seen that heater, and that's 5 punch-outs now for Albert.
So back to the top of the order we go. Mason Braun at the plate. First pitch swinging, hits it into the shift. And the second baseman, Camden Rush, makes the play. Eddie Albert with a really wonderful effort here against LSU. Braun is now 0 for 3. He lined out last time to center field, and a great catch was made out there by Banez. So Curiel will try to ignite LSU's offense with 2 outs. He struck out last time looking, and earlier rolled out to second base. The pitch, Steve, right? LSU got 1 in the first and an unearned run in the 4th. 1-1. Eddie Albert continues to tie up the Tigers.
Have a day, big fella. 10 pitches that inning. Only had 8 the inning before. I mean, incredible the performance that Eddie Albert's having right now as LSU is struggling to see that fastball.
Counts are even at 2. LSU has scored the only 2 runs, one in the first and one in the fourth. Meanwhile, William Schmidt continues to be near perfect. He did not allow a base runner through the first 4 innings. He's allowed 2 hits now in 5 frames. 5 strikeouts, no walks. And this will be the 60th pitch of the afternoon for William Schmidt, so he continues to be very economical. Milam can't get it. That's on into left field for a base hit. And lately, Dartmouth has been finding a few better swings on Schmidt.
Yeah, obviously through the first 4 innings, Schmidt hadn't allowed a hit, but last inning they got 2 hits. Now they've gotten a hit here. Obviously Schmidt, the pitch count's up at 60 now, might be getting a little bit tired. Plus, they've seen him now. They've gone through the order. Everybody's coming back, seeing him a second or third time.
That fastball still has some rip to it.
Yeah, 93, but it's down 3 miles an hour from where he was living. He was living in the 96 lane.
Sam Anderson at first base following the single to left. Alejandro Puig struck out back in the 3rd. And a late swing there results in a foul ball. LSU actually has been out hit. Hits have been very difficult to come by for both teams. There have been 5 hits total, and Dartmouth has 3 of them. LSU will take on Northeastern tomorrow. There goes the runner at first, and perhaps a hit and run. Everybody will return. 6:30 is the start time, Central Time tomorrow.
It wouldn't have been a hit and run with 2 strikes, but there was a steal. The breaking ball was on the outside corner, and Puig did a nice job just to protect it, because it probably would have been a called strike.
And here we go. At 1-2. Aaron Beatty smothers it. Tomorrow night's game will be available right here on the SEC ESPN network. Ronnie Rance and I will return for that one. 6:30 start against Northeastern. The 2-2 pitch instead goes to first base. Puig is from Pembroke Pines, Florida. He waits for the 2-2 pitch. That gets by York. Anderson on his way to second base, and he'll stop there. So a misconnect at first on the pickoff attempt. We'll see against whom the error is charged, probably on the throw.
Dartmouth now looking just for that one timely hit. LSU, they've got the runner in scoring position.
It is an error against Schmidt.
And they're going to have 3 cracks at it for somebody to get a hit. And here comes Nate Yeski out to the bump. He sees something.
If you've just joined us, William Schmidt was perfect through the first 4 innings. Striking out 5 along the way. So he set down the first 12 before DeMastri got a base hit to open the 5th. There was another base hit in that inning and another base hit here in the 6th.
Now, I saw coach talking to Dardar over at second base as well. I mean, there's a conversation being had on how to hold the runner at second as well as where to play in position. You do not want to let Dartmouth get that runner to third with less than 2 outs. But you see the line so far, very similar to his line last week when he went 5 innings against Central Florida, only gave up 3 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, had no earned runs allowed. So another good outing for William Schmidt.
He comes back with a twister, and Puig cannot find it. That's strikeout number 6.
85 here with the slider from Schmidt.
Excellent downward break on that pitch.
That pitch has really emerged for him.
When you can throw it there with that kind of snap to it, you can make a living. Arambidi keeps it playable. Nico Banez at the top of the order has flied to center and struck out. Dartmouth, for the first time today, gets a runner in scoring position. The pitch. There's some heat. Back up to 95. The outfield is deep in right and straight away, not so deep in center and a little bit to the opposite side, and the same thing in left.
In his zone right now, a little bit of a pitcher's zone, that's for sure. That was the top quadrant of the strike zone for William Schmidt on the outer portion.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. He got him swinging.
Went with the 12-6 bender that time. Took a little something off. You see that usually. It's not a done deal. 7 strikeouts now for William Schmidt through 5 2/3. You usually go slider to the righties, breaking ball to the lefties, and that's what you saw right there. Nice 79-mile-an-hour curveball under the bat, down and in.
Tair Rodriguez is 0 for 2. LSU's lead is precarious. It's 2-0. Tying run at the plate. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Anderson leads from second base. Tigers got 1 in the first on a Brown home run and an unearned run in the 4th. The pitch grounded to left side. Carraway waits on it and runs over to make the tag. Carraway alertly saw the runner coming within his range and was able to make a diving effort to get the tag. So a fielder's choice to end the inning. Watch Carraway. He's able to make a swipe tag, and that ends the inning. 2-0 Tigers. Runs have been difficult to find. LSU got one in the first when Jake Brown homered into the right field bleachers. And he comes up right now to lead off the 6th inning. Following the home run, he popped out to second base. Tigers got an unearned run in the 4th. And Eddie Albert continues to be superb for Dartmouth in this his second start of the season.
This has been a dream start for Eddie Albert. I mean, against the defending national champions, this is one of those performances where, you know, the family will save the recording. But
is this fair or foul? It's a foul ball. Jake Brown flirted with his second home run of the game, but slightly foul.
I mean, that ball was not fouled by a bunch, and it was a bullet, a line drive, 105 exit speed off the bat. Tried to throw a slider down and in, and it did not fool Jake Brown.
Albert brings the 0-2 pitch. That backs him away. That's a purpose pitch.
Yeah, that was 91-mile-an-hour fastball, sort of up and in, kind of back up Brown a little bit. Let's see if maybe he goes off speed away.
Brown lifts this one. Looked like a changeup. Let's see if anybody can get to it. Sun is still a problem, and there's a snow cone catch by the left fielder Beggart.
I mean, we're having some issues out there today in that Dartmouth outfield, but that time they were able to haul it in for him. Watch right here. I mean, this made me nervous the whole way because nobody felt real comfortable. And then right there, that ball is halfway out of the glove.
You know, it's not often
the left fielder Beggart.
It's not often you see 4 defenders in the shot at one time, in the frame at one time.
But that was a straight changeup to Brown, a well-placed pitch on the outer third, and Jay Johnson going to use one of his timeouts here. This is the equivalent of a 20-second timeout in basketball where the other team's going on a little streak and you just want to try to change the momentum. That's all this is. I mean, there's no special magic that he's sharing right there with his players. It's just trying to change the pace up because right now Eddie Albert is in the rocking chair on the bump.
He's retired 5 in a row. It should be 7 if you take away that error a couple of innings ago. So York comes to the plate. He has grounded out to the shortstop and fouled out to first base.
By the way, Lynn, you hear that song in the background?
Mm-hmm.
His walk-up music. No chance you know who that is. That's Biggie Smalls. His nickname is Big Papa with his teammates, and so it's a reference to that. It's a rapper from the 90s. He's no longer with us.
I am so glad you have filled me in on that.
But there you go. Just I wanted you to be in the loop so you would know what that walk-up music is for York.
Another chance for Beggart.
Uh-oh.
He's got it.
Attaboy. Young freshman out there in left field. Look at his teammate dapping him up. Like, there you go. 2 in a row. You got this.
It's been an adventure out there with the Sun. And now Milam.
Well, Lynn, I don't know when it's appropriate to hit the panic button a little bit offensively, but I mean, LSU got 8 hits on Tuesday against McNeese. They got 5 hits on Friday against Dartmouth, 5 hits on Saturday against Northeastern. And here we are in the 6th inning, and they only have 2 hits against Dartmouth. That's 4 games in a row. LSU's offense has been underwhelming against pitching that is really below what they're going to see in a couple of weeks.
And it's an immediate reversal because the Tigers had been scalding the baseball in the first couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah, they hit .388 last weekend against name brand teams, Power 4 conference teams. And so this came out of nowhere. This little lull, little funk, as I'll call it, is a surprise.
This is like clear air turbulence. You're going real smooth in the jet, and all of a sudden you run into some unexpected severe turbulence. That's what's happened to the LSU offense.
Right, exactly. You know, one game everybody can say, oh, that's just baseball, that happens. You know, there's been plenty of examples where you have a bad night, a bad day, but 4 games in a row where the offense is struggling is a little bit, I don't know.
No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Dartmouth. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for LSU. That's been it. Milam has walked and doubled and scored. He was the recipient of a dropped fly ball in center field where Banez lost it in the sun. And then with 2 outs, Beggert misplayed a fly ball off the bat of Seth Dardar to produce the second run. Milam goes down on strikes. So a 3-up, 3-down inning, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. Retired by Eddie Albert. He has been masterful. But the LSU Tigers lead it 2-0. The 7th inning comes your way next. Schmidt has been brilliant as the starter for LSU. 6 innings, just 3 hits allowed. Hasn't walked a batter, has fanned 7. He's been the story of the day defensively for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Dartmouth hasn't had much opportunity, but LSU continues to be beleaguered lately with runners in scoring position. The Tigers are 2 for 22 with runners in scoring position over the last 3 games.
Yeah, and look, and Albert, you see his outing, 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, 1 earned. Really should be 1-0 LSU. He gave up the solo homer to Brown. The outfield let him down with 2 drop fly balls. But this has been a pitcher's duel, and both teams have not been able to do anything offensively.
So the big green come to the plate. DiCorrado sends one deep to left center field, and backing up out there is Tanner Reeves. He makes the play. That's one of the best hit fly balls today for Dartmouth, but gathered by Reeves in left.
Now, speaking of left, you know, no Stanfield out there. That's Tanner Reeves out in left field, and we still don't have a Chris Stanfield sighting in the lineup. He played the first 2 games of the season. That was it. And we kept thinking, you know, maybe the next game, and here we are, the 12th game of the year, and he's still not active. And you see that tape job that he has on his left wrist and hand. That's more extensive than what we saw a week ago as far as the taping. Not a good sign.
And very frustrating for him. He was hurt in the 2nd game of the season.
I mean, last year he had 298. He actually led the team in hitting in the SEC. Had 15 doubles. You know, played a great center field. Jay Johnson raves about him, and remember that the strength of this team is supposed to be Stanfield in left, Curiel in center, and Jake Brown in right, and they've been missing him most of the year.
DeMastri ropes it through on the right side. That's his second hit. He's 2 for 3. And lately, Dartmouth is finding a few more pitches to its liking.
Yeah, that was a slider right there, 84, and that's now 4 hits for Dartmouth. They actually have 4 hits. LSU only 2 in this ball game.
One out, one on for Axel Reese. He has flied to center with Curiel making a fine catch. And he has bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. This is the second game in a row between LSU and Dartmouth in which the Big Green has given LSU everything it wants. The original mascot was the Indians for Dartmouth. And then they changed it a few decades ago to Big Green. Curiel retreating in a hurry, still on his horse. He's got it. He is so smooth out in center field, and that's smooth with about 7 O's.
Yeah, made that diving catch, kind of going to the ground on the warning track earlier in the ball game, and there's never any panic. I mean, a ball in the air this year with this outfield, doesn't matter who's in left really. You have a lot of confidence if you're LSU and a ball hit in the air. Now the Tigers do have Maverick Rizzi up in the pen. You wonder at what point.
It could come soon because obviously LSU's infield was instructed to gather on the mound. Wouldn't surprise me to see somebody come from the dugout and fetch Schmidt.
Rizzi's ready to go. He's just been standing there. He's not even throwing anymore. I mean, he's ready if need be. So
Schmidt will remain.
there's the freshman Beggart, who is last time up got his first college base hit. A little ground ball back up the middle.
He's late on the swing. So Schmidt for the first time pitching into the 7th inning. 2 outs, a runner at first base. Beggart has struck out and had a base hit. Late again.
Not seeing that slider. Those are really 2 really good 87, 86 mile an hour breaking balls on the outer third. Might as well throw it again. Beggart's missed it by a bunch.
Yep. He does, but it's high. Schmidt trying to finish it up. He's working on a 4-hit shutout with no walks and 7 strikeouts. Arambidi cannot control that wild pitch.
Yeah, that time Schmidt tried to over crank it. You know, sometimes when you get 2 strikes, you just kind of squeeze it a little too much. You're trying to manipulate it and make it be down in the dirt or out of the zone. And that time he just over cranked it instead of holding it nice and loose.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 on what probably will be the final inning for Schmidt.
Yeah, he went 5 straight sliders that time from Schmidt to Beggart. They saw he wasn't seeing it real good, so they just kept throwing it. And William Schmidt has been rock solid today for the Tigers.
This game has been tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And LSU looking for some insurance, trying to take itself out of the position where when it yields one base runner, the tying run comes to the plate. Eddie Albert has been really, really top drawer today.
He's had one of those performances that he'll always remember. 6 innings, 7 Ks, and a walk. Total command, 2 hits. Those came a few innings ago. And it seems like he has gotten stronger and better as the game's going on.
Well, he's retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. And could have had 10 in a row had it not been for that error a couple of innings ago. Chris Miller is now playing left field. Let's see if anybody can catch this. Nope.
And that's where, again, that first baseman should have had that ball. It's a much easier play for Sam Anderson, the first baseman for Dartmouth. He pulled off. He was nearby. Catcher was calling it, so he just let him take it. But this is look. Watch where the first baseman is. He's coming on to the ball. He's got a much better chance of making that catch than the catcher does trying to run backwards.
Chris Miller has replaced Beggert in center and left field. And Eddie Albert, who did not get out of the 3rd inning in his first start, continues to baffle LSU hitters. This one is sky high again up the elevator shaft, and Camden Rush takes the mile-high pop-up to retire Aaron Beatty, who's 0 for 3.
Well, if you're Eddie Albert, what are the emotions you're feeling on the mound when the ball is hitting the air today? I mean, it is just a lot of, come on, please, please, please. Didn't look really comfortable that time either by Rush at second initially, but he squeezed it, and that was a big out to get that leading lady.
Dardar at the plate, 5th-year senior out of Mandeville, Holy Cross High School.
His coach for a little bit over in high school was former LSU Tiger assistant Andy Cannizzaro, who was head coach at Holy Cross for a couple of seasons.
Albert has set down 8 in a row. He's been mysterious to the Tigers. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Dartmouth, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for LSU. Where have all the LSU base hits gone over the last 3 or 4 games? The shift is on again. The 1-2. Smashed through on the right side. Even though the shift was on, that ball had enough velocity to get out to right field for a base hit by Dardar, his first of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Well, let's see if that can give LSU a little bit of a spark. They're going to have a pinch runner enter the ball game right now, and that's going to be Jack Ruckert, the freshman from Catholic High in Baton Rouge. He'll go in the ball game.
And it's very likely he will stay in the game at second base.
Yeah, Ruckert played shortstop in high school, but has played second and third, in his short time as a Tiger.
This will be a courtesy call. There is no bullpen activity unless somebody's ready down there that we didn't notice earlier, but nobody's throwing at the moment.
I think if you're Eddie Albert, you're saying, you're going to have to drag me off this mound. He is not doesn't want to come out of this ball game, that's for sure. He's at 89 pitches. That number means nothing. This is Dartmouth against LSU. Eddie Albert in Baton Rouge as a senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's not worried about pitch counts. He'll throw till his arm falls off if he has a chance to finish this game or help his team win it.
Caraway to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Steve, right. Boy, he's been really good with that pitch, hasn't he?
He's really done a nice job of being down in the strike zone, commanding that fastball at the knee level.
That sweeps a little low. Reese shading his eyes and takes a couple of extra steps to get to it for the second out.
Albert commanding both sides of the plate, Lynn. You know, the stuff isn't overwhelming, but he's rarely throwing it down the middle. Remember, made the mistake to Jake Brown down the middle. It left the yard, but he's been in and out, staying on the corners consistently to these Tiger hitters.
And what a gorgeous day, Ronnie, as we turn the page on the first month of the season, February, on into March 1st today. But just ideal conditions for baseball. Mid-70s weather, no clouds, and a wind blowing out toward left field, right to left. Reeves from Bonham, Texas, a fifth-year senior. Runner moving and then stops and comes back. Tanner has lined out to center. He hit the ball well in the second inning, but it was caught. And Reeves already, Eddie Albert struck him out in the fifth. That's a little bit inside.
And Tanner Reeves, when he was in junior college at Blinn Junior College over in Brenham, Texas, set the junior college World Series record for base hits, or for hits in the World Series.
It's going to be the bottom third of the order coming up in the eighth for Dartmouth.
This is a guy that is sort of like a Swiss Army knife for Jay Johnson. Can play a lot of different positions, third, second, outfield. But he mainly hits.
Ruckert is on the move, and a liner will bring everybody back. Have you ever sat in any of those? I have not, but have you ever watched a game from any of those field level luxury boxes?
I have, and I like them. You're almost eye level with the players.
Runner moving again on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs.
There's boxes that were put down on the field level last year, so this is year 2, down the first and third base line. One, they've taken away a lot of foul territories, so I mean, as a pitcher, that's not really a good thing. But they are great. I mean, they got servers, and you can order food right to your booth. They've got heaters down there when it's cold.
There will be no play on this either. Did I see television screens or computers or something down there?
I think they have something like that. Maybe, I don't know if they have a screen. I know they have a little ice chest kind of area. And you can't get any closer to the field than those boxes down the first and third base line.
Well, Eddie Albert comes back to get a strikeout of Tanner Reeves. He has been magnificent.
8 strikeouts now in this ball game for Albert. Gets Reeves to chase it out of the zone. Have a day, big fella. Eddie Albert living a dream in Baton Rouge.
A beautiful day in Baton Rouge as we move to the 8th inning. LSU clinging to a tenuous 2-0 lead. Ronnie, let's look at this LSU pitching staff over the last 3 games, including Schmidt's performance today. Quite the reversal from what we saw earlier.
Yeah, regardless of the competition, Lynn, the thing that I look at is 36 strikeouts, 4 walks. I don't care who you play, the 4 walks is important. The fact that this LSU pitching is throwing strikes and is the impressive thing. Have a 9-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio as a staff through 2+ games.
Henry Murray is pinch hitting for Camden Rush. And the Tigers have made a couple of defensive changes. William Patrick has replaced Tanner Reeves in left field. And as anticipated, Jack Ruckert stays in the game after batting for Dardar. Ruckert at second base and William Patrick now in left field. Murray out of Chicago. He brings a .364 average to the plate with 4 driven in. That almost hit him. This is the longest outing of the year for any LSU pitcher. Schmidt working in the 8th. That was the 93rd pitch of the game for Schmidt. He was perfect through 4. A late swing on that high heater.
And 94 on the fastball, and this is a good sign for LSU as a pitching staff, because this is now 3 starters in a row this weekend that have all had quality starts. As a pitch upper quadrant on the outer portion, 9 punchies now for William Schmidt. Let's see if he can get 10. It's always a great number for a pitcher. You get to double digits.
How many games did it take you?
Uh-oh.
Milo Suarez is pinch hitting, and he's promptly plunked.
I don't know if Jay's going to let him get to 10. That might be one to make the move on, because Maverick Rizzi's more than ready.
So Suarez is hit by a pitch in a pinch hit roll. And here we go with the move to the mound by Jay Johnson. Schmidt has done everything required of him and then some. No walks. To me, that's the most critical statistic of all. And Rizzi,
well, that's not. Is that Rizzi? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either.
No, that's not him. Kept showing Rizzi in the shot down there, but
Dax Daughtry appears to be coming out of the bullpen. We'll take a timeout and be right back. Get you caught up. Right now, LSU leading 2-0 over Dartmouth in the 8th inning. Dax Daughtry has been called upon to take over for William Schmidt. The senior who carries 208 pounds on a 6'3" frame out of Round Rock, Texas. No record this year. This is his 5th appearance. Only 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits allowed. He has not walked anybody. He has struck out 7. He's had some hard luck. His ERA is 6.30, but they feel like Dartmouth can be a real contributor out of the bullpen. How about Schmidt's performance today?
I mean, this is good news for LSU, right? It's back-to-back 2 really good outings, and that's what you want to see. You want to see Schmidt building momentum, going into SEC play. They play Sacramento State, a good program traditionally. Next week at home, he'll get another start, and then he'll be on the road at Vanderbilt. But that's what you can hope for. 9 punch-outs, 0 walks in 7 1/3 innings. Didn't give up a run. I mean, that's sensational stuff for William Schmidt. And the slider, which is really going to be something he's going to throw a lot in SEC play, was really good.
Puig will try to extend it for this Dartmouth team. 1 out. Can't come up with that breaking pitch.
Slider 83-86 from Dartmouth. Fastball 91-95. Has a little sink to it a little bit as well. Does throw a changeup, sweeper, cutter is, and the Angelo State product, one of the older players on the team. Shown a lot of command through his 3 1/3, but entering today, he's 7 punch-outs, 0 walks. Showed a lot of command. Lynn, I put the jinx on him.
Well, that's back-to-back players who have been hit. One by Schmidt, one by Dartmouth, and suddenly the tying run is at first base. You've got to be sharp throughout. And here comes Jay Johnson again. So could this be a
I'm not going to guess
batter
who's
performer?
coming into the game. I'm just going to.
Well, Dartmouth hit the first batter he faces, and that's going to be all for him.
Okay, now that is Maverick Rizzi. Maybe that's who they intended to put in the game.
Well, he casts a longer shadow than most. Dartmouth and now Rizzi coming on to pitch for LSU in the 8th. The only player in the history of LSU baseball from Fiskdale, Massachusetts, comes to the mound for the Tigers, and the tallest player among LSU's roster right now, 6'9", 251 pounds, on right-hander Maverick Rizzi, making his 5th appearance, no record, a small ERA of 1.31, 5 1/3 innings, only 1 hit allowed. The only blemish on his stat line so far has been 4 walks, but he has struck out 5.
Well, Maverick Rizzi's going to play a gigantic role in this LSU bullpen, and he has a chance to be one of those guys that really takes a big step from his freshman year to sophomore year and put himself on the national map. 94, 97 with the fastball. He can touch it even faster on occasion. Breaking ball, got the curveball in the low 80s, slider in the mid 80s. He'll throw a changeup as well. That'll run about 86 to 89, but that presence, that big 6'9" frame coming at you with a 96, 97 mile an hour fastball is hard to touch right now in college baseball.
And this is conjecture on my part, but I see the role of Rizzi this year as a 7th and 8th inning pitcher. I don't think they're going to use him as a closer with any regularity, but I see him as a setup guy in the 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I don't think any of the real the roles are determined yet. I think it's still very much a competition and a figuring out by the coaching staff on who's going to go where. But regardless of when Maverick Rizzi enters the game, he's going to have a prominent role in the bullpen.
By the way, if you're thinking home run, Dartmouth has none so far this year. And Rizzi has not been reached for one this year. The 1-0 pitch to Banez at the top of the order. Schmidt induced a fly ball to center and then struck him out twice. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That was a 97-mile-an-hour pitch. The tying run at first base.
6'9" pitcher throwing to a 5'8" hitter. And 5'8" may be generous.
Banez just wants to keep acquiring base runners. And he'll take a timeout.
Dartmouth taking a page out of Jay Johnson's book, going with a offensive timeout here.
Dartmouth has been to 7 NCAA regionals in its baseball history and 1 World Series, and that was 1970. Were you born in 1970? I don't think so.
No, 1972. Banez out of Orlando, Florida. Obviously, Dartmouth, an Ivy League school, so a bright guy. And he has been there all 4 years.
Rizzi hums 97.6. There's a right-hander warming up now for Dartmouth.
Banez's dad played baseball at Army, earning first-team honors in their league.
Nate Kugler is warming up for the Big Green. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is a big pitch for both sides. We will do it again at 3-2.
What is the stat you always talk about on 3-2 pitches?
63% of 3-2 pitches are fouled off. Now that's according to Skip Bertman years ago.
Okay, well, so that statistic changes a lot. I mean, 63, sometimes you tell me it's 58. I mean, the number changes.
Rizzi strikes him out swinging, and that is a huge out.
Rizzi, the 6'9" sophomore, that Banez maybe chased one below the zone. It was pretty close, but a big-time pitch. Nothing fancy there. Rizzi just reared back and threw it as hard as he could.
And now Tair Rodriguez. First name is spelled T-A-E-R, pronounced Tair. Rodriguez has struck out, bounced out to second, and reached on a fielder's choice. Ball 1. That was 98 plus.
All right, Tair Rodriguez, a senior out of La Sierra High School in Corona, California.
A bunt. Can anybody get to it? No. Caraway went over to get that foul ball bunt and then just told Dartmouth to keep the ball. That's not something that ever would have happened under Skip.
Oh, no. Matter of fact, you probably wouldn't have got a post-game meal had you given a ball to a fan. That was $4.73 right out the window there.
And it ain't got any cheaper since then. What are they, about $8 a piece?
The ones LSU uses, yeah, somewhere around that. I remember a few years ago when I was with Coach Bertman, he took a tour of the new hitting facilities back when it was built, and he walked in and there were just buckets and buckets of pearl white baseballs just everywhere. And he just was in amazement that they had about 10 times the amount of baseballs that he had when he was a coach winning national championships.
Swing and a miss on a big breaking ball. That had some horizontal movement to it.
It's all right. I do the same thing with the Rougarou. He taught me well. I'm over there checking men foul balls and keeping tabs on them.
We will do it again at 2-2. 2 outs, 2 on. 2-0 game. LSU in the 8th over Dartmouth.
Grizzy feeling it today. 96 to 98 on his fastball since entering the game.
Here it comes. Rizzi strikes him out.
Went with the slider, pulled the string, been throwing all the heat. Went with the 87-mile-an-hour breaking ball. And Maverick Rizzi doing his job out of the bullpen. You're looking for the heat, and you get a little wiggle on the end, and Maverick Rizzi slams the door on Dartmouth.
Nate Kugler will pitch the 8th for Dartmouth. He is the first reliever, and Eddie Albert is finally gone, much to the relief of LSU hitters who managed only 3 hits against him. He walked but 1 and struck out 7. He was remarkably good. 7 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk. Let's update his strikeout total. He's got 8 now and hit a batter, 100 pitches, 65 for strikes. Well done, Eddie Albert.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Dartmouth's probably not going to win this ball game, but Eddie Albert did his job and was just absolutely sensational. Look at the big smile on his face. He'll go back, he'll watch the tape and with pride, well, he and his family, as he should. He really commanded the ball down in the zone, lived with that 89, 91 mile an hour fastball, played faster than that. He moved it on both sides of the plate. And when he got himself in a jam, he wiggled out of it a couple of times.
So Kugler comes on.
Now, Kugler's out of California. He was injured last year, did not pitch his first year. And he and you have a lot in common, Lynn. Y'all both have similar hobbies. 2 things he enjoys doing when he's not playing baseball.
Eating and duck hunting.
Ping pong and kayaking. Made me think of you.
Ping pong for sure. I was dormitory champion. Milo Suarez is the new first baseman. Mason Smith is the new second baseman. Mason Braun leans back in that stance, now uncoils, but watches it for a strike.
Now, first 2 pitches by Kugler were good ones. The 90 mile an hour fastball, and then right there, breaking ball for a strike. So
Braun is hitless at the top of the order. He has struck out, line to center. and grounded to second. The shift is on, and he committed. It's been a tough day for Mason Braun, and that's the 9th time LSU has struck out.
Right here, well, that's a really good breaking ball, especially in 0-2, right? I mean, you know, as a hitter, you have to expand the zone a little bit. Started off as a strike, broke out of the zone, but Braun couldn't hold up.
Here's Derek Curriell. He has not reached space. He has struck out twice and grounded out. Curriell's average has slipped below 300 now. It's 298 at the moment. We had a rare encounter today between the two starting pitchers. Eddie Albert and William Schmidt were just brilliant. Control was exceptionally fine. Hits were held to a minimum. And both of them put on a pitching clinic today. Two different types of pitchers, but equally effective. Only 7 hits in this game. LSU with just 3. Here we go at 1-1. Kugler to Curriell. LSU 2 runs, 3 hits. They've struck out 9 times. They've left 4 on base. And they are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
I don't know what's a bigger surprise, the 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, or the fact that they only had 6 runners in scoring position as we play here in the bottom of the 8th.
But are you concerned because over the last 3 games, LSU is 2 for 22 with runners in scoring position?
I go back to Tuesday as well. I mean, you know, I know they ended up scoring 6 runs technically against McNeese, and lost that game, but they didn't have double-digit hits.
Smith cannot recover in time. The new second baseman bobbled a routine ground ball, and the Tigers got a base runner with 1 out.
That Curriell runs really well, and so even at second base, this normally with most runners, that little bobble right there is not going to cost you anything, but Curriell just does beat it out by half a step. And now let's see if LSU can take advantage of another gift by Dartmouth's defense.
Now there is a left-handed reliever throwing in the bullpen. In fact, I think one lefty, one righty. So we may play left-hander to left-hander here.
I don't think this has anything to do with Kugler. I mean, he's throwing the ball well. I think this has to do with how they're going to handle a steal or scenario, how they're going to pitch him, you know, that kind of deal, because Kugler should have had an out right there. I mean, he's looked good since coming in the game.
And he will stay.
Lefty righty up in the pin.
LSU had to come from behind in the first game against Dartmouth a couple of days ago and won it 5-3. It's been a hard-fought battle again in this one. 2-0 Tigers in the 8th. Brown hit a long home run in the first inning, his 5th of the year. Since then, he has popped up to second base and flied to left field.
Kugler throwing a lot of strikes. That was 91 away from Jake Brown. Jay Johnson said before the season that Jake Brown had a chance to be one of the best players in the country, and he has gotten off to the start that has put him in that conversation.
Off speed, and he was in front of it. Brown came into the game batting .408 with a team leading 20 hits and a team leading 4 home runs. He's added 1 to that total, and a team leading 18 RBI. He's added 1 to that total. So he's the Triple Crown winner right now for the Tigers.
Boy, just did get a piece of that one. Kugler showing a really nice breaking ball down in the zone. Sharp. It's got a sharp bite to it. And he's putting it in a spot where he can't be hurt. Right here, 0-2. Trying to get under the bat. Hit off that. Trying to hit it, kind of a back foot curveball.
Let's watch Curiel here. Not going. Brown tattoos one into center field. Banez back. He cannot get it. Curiel rounds third. He's waved to the plate. He's going to make it without a relay throw. Jake Brown once again. What can Brown do for you?
Well, what Jake Brown can do is deliver 2 RBIs for LSU on a day where they needed both of them. This is a kind of a tomahawk special. This ball is up, maybe even above the letters a little bit. He gets the barrel on top of it. I felt like Banez might have been playing a little shallow there with Jake Brown at the plate. And he comes through big. Curiel didn't get the best read on it, but he's got big-time wheels, and he scored easily from first.
Well, he had to hold up in the off chance that, in the odd chance that that ball would be caught, because there's only 1 out. Now York. That's the 5th double of the season for Jake Brown. And his 20th RBI. He's the first Tiger to reach 20 in runs batted in. York hits one high and hits it deep. It's not going to leave the yard, and it's caught near the warning track by the right fielder Reese. That ball came off the bat a little bit soft. It wasn't exactly his most squared up swing, but still he was able to drive it to close to the warning track.
Yeah, Kugler did a nice job of getting that ball in enough on York to where he couldn't quite get the barrel on it all the way.
So Milam looking for his first base hit, or I beg your pardon, looking for his second base hit. He's walked, he's doubled, he's scored, he has struck out. One and 0 from Nate Kugler, Kugler.
With a first base open and 2 outs, might see them kind of stay away from Milam. If they walk him, they'll take their chances with the righty. Aaron Beatty, who hasn't had the best day today, is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
The Tigers will carry at least a 3-0 lead into the 9th. Aaron Beatty does a half swing strike.
That's Milam with the
I beg your pardon, yes.
Surprising swing right there, because the count was 2-0. Usually when it's 2-0, you're sitting fastball a certain location, and for him to do a half swing on a breaking ball, he was completely fooled.
Now the 2-1 offering to Stephen Milam. That's off the plate.
These are the moments where Milam has been clutch, regardless of his average at times. He has come through late in game spots here. This would be another opportunity. 3-1 count, base hit will score a run and give them the cushion they're looking for.
That's been his MO, providing what's needed at the time it's needed.
First baseman doesn't see it. That'll make its way into foul territory. Maybe they don't have the same kind of sun in New Hampshire as they do in Baton Rouge, because doesn't matter the position. They have all struggled Dartmouth players to see the ball in the sun.
This might be the first time they've seen the sun getting ready for the season.
Definitely the first time it's been this bright.
I mean, it's 24 degrees right now in New Hampshire. The pitch. Hit on a couple of hops to the second baseman, Smith. This time he makes the play cleanly. And the side is done. But the Tigers get a run on a Jake Brown RBI double, scoring Curiel. We go to the ninth, 3-0 LSU.
Today has had an interesting time with the high sky in Baton Rouge. This right here was ruled a double. The very next batter comes up, and that's an error in left field. And then an almost drop as it's snow coned. Then we had a missed play over by the catcher and the first baseman. And then finally, okay, got it. And then a celebration ensues as, hey, nice job. It is. And look, there's plenty more catches that have been made today by Dartmouth players that have been a little oogie, to say the least.
Oogie is a good word for it. Let's see if Rizzi can close this thing out for the Tigers. He's got a 3-run advantage. The hits are even at 4 apiece. They've been very difficult to find. Rizzi came out of the bullpen and struck out the 2 batters he faced with the tying run on base at the time. DiCorrado is 0 for 3. He has bounced out, lined out to York, and flied to left. This is the Canadian.
It may surprise you, Lynn, that Dartmouth out of New Hampshire only has 1 player from Massachusetts. I looked it up because Maverick Rizzi is from Massachusetts. You would assume there might be some connection, but that is not the case. Only 1 baseball player on this team is from Massachusetts. And that is Joey Kismont, the 6'7" senior pitcher. There must be a Massachusetts thing. They have a 6'7" righty, and LSU's got a 6'9" righty. So you have to be a giant to pitch in Massachusetts, clearly.
Curiel coming on, covering a lot of ground toward the infield. He's got the very high pop-up. And there's the all-important out number 1. DiCorrado most likely will close the game at 0 for 4. And here's DeMastri, who has singled twice and grounded out. He's from Woodstock, Georgia. The pitch, Steve Reich, a burner at 96.5.
Now the roster for Dartmouth is a true national roster, from players from California to Massachusetts, Florida, Utah, San the South Dakota, Illinois, New Jersey, even a couple Canadians.
Well, it's the appeal of that Ivy League education.
Yep. Closest player on this, Chris Miller, is from Dardanelle, Arkansas. That's the closest to Baton Rouge.
1-2. Now 2-2.
Now for Maverick Rizzi, this is a role that who knows exactly if he's going to be the setup closer or if they'll kind of have a couple of guys who can close games. But this is good practice for Maverick Rizzi here, being able to pitch the 8th and 9th. That didn't miss by much.
Now we've got a jammed count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rizzi to the plate. Off the mark.
And if you're Dartmouth, that's what you need, right? When
Yep.
you're down 3 in the 9th, you're probably not going to get 5 or 6 hits and come back and tie it. You're going to need some help from LSU. You're going to need a few walks, maybe an error before you get that hit.
And that emphasizes the importance of that 3rd run in the 8th inning, because now without that the tying run would come to the plate, but now it needs another base runner for that to occur.
That's the first walk of the game by LSU pitching.
It is, and that's a key point to make, especially with the wildness that LSU had shown in most games coming into this one.
Yeah, shown on Tuesday in particular. Matter of fact, coming into this weekend, LSU was averaging well over 4 walks per game as a staff, which was somewhere around 120th in the country.
Rizzi gets ahead again, 0-2. Axel Reese.
This weekend, though, LSU pitching has only walked 5 batters in 3 games.
That's quite the reversal. The pitch, nubbed foul. Reese has flied to center with Curiel making a terrific catch. He's bounced into a double play and he has lined to center again. Reese hitting .217 at the moment. He got a little sliver. A runner at first base with 1 out. LSU 3, Dartmouth nothing, top of the 9th. The 0-2. He overthrew it. That one was supposed to be a breaking ball of some sort, but it was very high and obviously had no snap to it. And that's a wild pitch.
And that'll get Nate Yeski out of the dugout, too, to check on his big fella, because that one really got away from him. Now, Jaden Newt is up moving around in the LSU bullpen just in case. But that ball kind of slipped out of the hand of Maverick Rizzi. As you take a look at Jaden Newt down there, the veteran from California. Newt pitched on Tuesday in the McNeese game. This is the last time out.
Tomorrow the Tigers will be here again. A 6:30 start. And we'll have it for you on the SEC ESPN network. 6:30 against Northeastern. Tomorrow, LSU and Northeastern. Dartmouth needs another base runner to provide an opportunity with the tying run at the plate. That's a couple of batters in a row where Rizzi has
The
gone from 0-2 to a full count.
Well, in the last two pitches, the misses were really big. Like, he missed his target by feet, multiple feet.
The payoff pitch. There's that 3-2 foul ball again.
Was able to drive it in there. That more impressive 96 through a strike that time by Rizzi. No reason to do anything else but come with the fastball again. Don't want to put the tying run at the plate. Want to challenge the hitter here with your best pitch, which is the fastball.
Steve, right 3 called. Out number 2 as Rizzi threw a BB past Reese.
Yeah, not quite sure what Reese was looking for. That was a 97 right down Nicholson drive. I mean, and he looked frozen as if he was expecting something different.
That pitch was as cold as an ice pick. 1 out to go for the Tigers. Chris Miller comes to the plate. And once again, a misconnect at the plate. A wild pitch.
Here's Miller from Dardanelle High School in Dardanelle, Arkansas. Rizzi's trying to pick up his first career save, Lynn.
William Schmidt would get the victory. He was terrific over the course of 7 1/3 innings. Allowed 4 hits, no walks, struck out 9, and was perfect through the first 4 innings.
Yeah, career-long outing for Schmidt and tied a career high for Kays with 9.
Miller is hitting .083. Two and 0.
And his job is to walk to
Make
get
it
on
3
base.
and 0. It's a 4-pitch walk to an .083 hitter.
And that's not what you want to see.
Nope, because it brings the tying run potentially to the plate. Rizzi came out of the bullpen throwing strikes. He fanned the 2 batters he faced last inning with 2 aboard.
Pinch hitting. For Dartmouth, number 10, Jack Niswanger.
Jack Niswanger is going to pinch hit
For the Big Red.
for Murray. So this is Niswanger. Niswonger. Jack Niswanger.
And that breaking ball was way outside again. And that's it. Jay Johnson's not going to see any more. He's going to go bring in Jaden Newts. So Maverick Rizzi was 1 out away from getting his first career save and a walk, and then started off things badly here. Jay Johnson's seen enough.
So Rizzi can't finish. LSU trying to hold on, leading 3-0 in the 9th. with an opportunity to close the game and pick up a save, the junior from Oak Park, California, a 6'4", 244-pounder. 5.25 ERA over the course of 4 innings, 3 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. This is his 3rd appearance.
Yeah, Newt, last time out, he pitched on Tuesday against McNeese, and against the Cowboys, he threw 1 inning, didn't give up any hits or runs, and struck out a batter, didn't walk anybody. So a nice outing there, 9-pitch inning for Jaden Newt.
So he is the 3rd reliever after Schmidt went 7 1/3. Dauthy, Rizzi, and now Newt.
Yeah, he'll face Jack Espirito Niswanger, a first-year player out of Boulder, Colorado, who he'll inherit a 1-ball, no-strike count.
There's ball 2 on the first pitch from Jaden Newt. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Newt rips one over the outside part of the plate. There's another one.
I floated that split finger in there about 5-6 miles an hour slower than the fastball. That one just kind of bottom dropped out of it right on the inside corner. I don't think Niswanger's seen a lot of those in BP.
Newt misses wide. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Newt comes out of the bullpen to strike out the final batter. And the Tigers get the shutout. William Schmidt earns the win. He's 3-0. Eddie Albert pitched brilliantly but took the loss. He's 0-2. Newt with the save. And LSU does enough to win despite collecting only 4 hits.
Boy, look at the bottom just dropped out on that pitch. That was a big-time splitty by Jaden Newt. We thought Rizzi was going to get the save. Newt got the opportunity to get the save. That's a good sign for LSU. But today the story was all about William Schmidt. 2 good outings, really great outings in a row, going back to last week against Central Florida, this week against Dartmouth. Put up zeros on the board. He's now thrown, I think, 12-plus innings and 0 earned runs in his last 2 starts.
And the Tigers get their 2nd shutout of the season. The first one was a 7-inning shutout. This one goes the distance. LSU holding on for the 3-0 victory over Dartmouth. Don't forget, there's baseball tomorrow against Northeastern at 6:30. We hope you'll join us right here on the SEC ESPN Network. For Ronnie Rance and Lynn Rollins, I certainly thank our crew for doing a marvelous job again. LSU wins it 3-0 over Dartmouth.